hold on, give me just a second. Let me get my online videos. I see Alexis. I see Slate. I see Declan. Slate. Veronica. They're the only ones I see right now. The thing that says review. Don't make me mad. I'll throw you out and write you up. Okay, so I have you. I got to check the schedule. I have you guys until 11:45 according to this abridged schedule. We do have an open. Why did I not open it in Canvas like an idiot? Hold on, let me check.
I don't understand it.
Hold on. It should be the same thing as what's up here. You don't understand how to answer it. Okay, well, good thing we're going over this because if you can't answer this, like I said, you will fail my class. Jimmy! Is he bullying you? Okay. All right, so I gotta find the right button here. I've got so many things up. And I had to actually drive my kid to school, so I'll 3 minutes later than normal. All right. What we are doing today is, like I said, we are doing a review of what you should already be able to do. Okay, and now you may have actually been okay with this before the break, but it's been 2 weeks and you didn't do chemistry over the break. Or
yes, I did.
You were copying other people's papers and Googling answers. And you don't know what you're doing. So we are going to go over this one more time. You have to be able to make a formula from a word. You have to. Because starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing word equations and then skeleton equations. We will have a lab on Friday. I am in the process of trying to make it as much as virtual to in person, which is what these loose bottles are for, and the steel bowl and all this good stuff. For those of you that are remote, there is a completely virtual version of it where you can pause it and you can write stuff down and answer all the questions. But for those of us that are in person, as long as you don't get quarantined, at least 3 of the 5 types of reactions we should be able to do in person. For this opener, we've now done this for 6 weeks. What is the difference between an ionic compound and a covalent compound? Do not tell me that they're spelled differently and they have different names. How do you tell them apart? Okay, so almost always what you said is 100% true. If it's covalent, it is nothing but nonmetals. That is 100% true. If it's ionic, it is normally a nonmetal, but before that is a metal. Now there is one exception with the ammonium ion. Now I know some of you went from remote to in person. I may have to print out new periodic tables because we got some here. I may need to get you some new polyatomic ion charts. Everything like that should still be in Canvas. It should not be locked, those kinds of things. But these periodic tables don't go away. We use them all year. Okay, so ionics, normally 99.99% of the time, metal, non-metal. Covalence, 100% non-metal, non-metal. When do we use Roman numerals?
Like 10 weeks ago.
But no, that's not what I meant. Why would we use a Roman numeral? What is the purpose of a Roman numeral in chemistry? The charge of the what specifically? The metal. Okay, so on a periodic table, which I know those of you that have been remote, we did this in person, not group 1 and 2, okay, and not silver, cadmium, zinc, and aluminum, but basically every metal on this side to that black staircase needs a Roman numeral, except for those 4. because those metals have more than one charge. And that Roman numeral tells you how positive, not how many, but how positive that charge is. When do we use prefixes? When do you use mono, di, tri, tetra?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know. That's why we're going back over this. That's when they are covalent or molecular. Those words are interchangeable with each other. And when would you use parentheses? Not more than one element, more than one what? These, what were these things on here? What are they called? Exactly, that's what, more than one polyatomic ion. And most of these things on this chart, which I had to go run home and pick up my freaking cracker and my grinder for my Earth Space kids. Normally these have oxygen attached to something, and they're named for the thing that's not oxygen. So the things with sulfur, sulfate, sulfite. The things with phosphorus, phosphate, phosphite. The eights and the ites, those are the things that need a parenthesis around it, and then how many would go outside. I knew we were going to have to go back over this because what?
So, when do you come
When you have a metal that is not a group 1 or group 2A element. And the only exceptions are silver, cadmium, zinc, and aluminum.
What was all for the quantity?
When you have a polyatomic ion.
They're not in group 1 and group 2?
If they're not, okay, so like I said, cracker. So group 1 and 2 are here. So every metal up to the staircase, except for aluminum, zinc, cadmium, and silver. And you should have put your charges on here. Now, who do I have in here that was remote and is now in person and needs a copy of the charges? Here and here.
When do we use prefixes again?
Prefixes is when they're covalent. I don't have extra copies for polyatomics. I'll have to make some, and I know with this abridged schedule, I'm gonna run out of time.
Parentheses is like when they have more than one.
Polyatomic ion, normally the eights and the ites. I have deviated a little bit from the rest of the chemistry team as far as openers are concerned, because with y'all, I know what you're struggling with. Most of you forgot all of this, and it's not going to go away. Yes. Yes. All right, so nomenclature review. Okay, nomenclature is the fancy phrase for how we name chemicals. That's what it means. So this was part of the answer to the focus. If it is ionic, I'm about to come over there and do some cheerleader stuff with the periodic table.
No, you're not.
I am too, because it's stupid, but it works.
That's it.
Fortunately, it's going to be right in front of you. These things are metals and non-metals. Okay, now there is an exception, which is ammonium, NH4. It is the only positive polyatomic. So you got, I'm going to hate you. So I know those of you that are online can't see, but on the left-hand side of the periodic table, look at this. Hydrogen is the exception. This red staircase. The thing to the right of it is a non-metal. Okay, so, and y'all every year I pop this, and this is so stupid. Okay, but
No, no, in front of me.
you have to. You're in front of the periodic table. So yeah, shush. We have a metal, a non-metal, makes an ionic. And then if it's covalent, it is a non-metal and a non-metal, which is
A genius.
C. I don't know what I did with my clicker.
Right there,
Where?
right here.
Did I put it in front on the table? I've had a long day already. Can you tell me? All right, so ionics So we've got, like I said, on the periodic table that was up here, we've got metals and we've got non-metals. Hydrogen doesn't count. They use charges. Okay, now I just gave the periodic tables to a couple of you. If it's a group 1 or 2, if it's group 1, they're always +1, group 2 is always +2. But every other metal is pretty finicky. And the exceptions would be silver, which is always +1, Ag is silver. Cadmium is always +2, zinc is always +2, and silver is always +3. Besides those 4, to the right of group 2, to the right of beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium, to the right of these, right here. Everything that way is a metal. It has to have a Roman numeral except for those 4. And y'all, I wish I could make chemistry easier. There is a bunch of exceptions to the rule in this class. Those are the 4 exceptions. If it's a group 1 or 2, or if it's one of those 4, it doesn't need that. You know, I tried to make this review as easy as possible on you so we could get through this and we could work on the assignments. Like, I don't understand where this comes from. Reggie, I don't understand how to do this. And there's one of me and there's a bunch of you. A Roman numeral tells you not how many, but how positive, how plus it is. Some of them, like manganese, which is I don't want to record myself, so I watch what I say, but the thing that reacts with everything on the periodic table can be +1, +2, +3, +4, 5, 6, and 7. Some of them, like iron, it's just +2 and +3. Some of them, like copper, it's just +1 and +2. But some of them have multiple versions. If you do have a polyatomic, which I'm sorry, those of you who have not been here, they are in Canvas. I don't remember which day, which module this is in. I'll make some more of these. These guys, if you need more than one, you put a protective bubble of parentheses around it, including the subscript, which you do not change, and then how many you need goes outside. When we have ionics, when they don't equal each other, if it's +1, -1, +2, -2, +2, -3, you don't write subscripts. But if they don't add up, they flip-flop. But you have to make sure if you can reduce, you reduce. Ionics are the much more difficult type to do. Covalents are a piece of cake. They're nothing but prefixes. I can't remember if I put another one on here or not. Like I said, I had to run home in between. There's one more on here. No prefixes on ionics. No mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, hexa, or no, hepta, octagon, and deca. None of that.
Oh, that's so easy.
That, like I said, those are easy. These are the hard ones.
That was hard.
Like I said, nomenclature does not go away. So if you did not learn, you gotta fix it. If you need to get your booty in for tutorials, you need to fix it. You need to go to Khan Academy or Khan Academy, however it's pronounced. You need to do it.
What did you give this?
What? The bottles, those are for the lab on Friday. Those are whoosh bottles. I'm gonna basically set them on fire. I'm gonna crush them with air. The bottles? You don't see the giant blue bottles over there?
No, I see it. I see there's words on them. I can't see that.
That's part of the lab that we are doing on Friday. And like I said, for those of you that are virtual, it's not me talking about it. It's other people. I'm sorry that's sort of ghetto to do it that way, but it was the easiest way for me to do it. My eval is in 8th period on Friday, so I'm trying to make as much of it in person as possible, but unfortunately the COVID gut can't touch crap. So, examples. Now these are all ionic. What's the symbol for magnesium? Mg. What is magnesium's charge?
2.
It's in group 2. I don't think I have my good, well, here, this should work. Okay, so magnesium right here. Okay, it's in group 2. I gotta stop moving around. Shaking. Anyway, so we got +1, +2. These are all, +3, +4, -3, -2, -1, 0. Okay, so the 2 of you that I just gave those papers to, those are written on the top. Everything that's in group 2 is +2. Nitride comes from which element? Nitrogen.
Bro, this is.
It, you got a pause to say, I hope you got a pause. Okay, and so nitrogen, which is in group 5, has what charge? In group 5, what charge does it have? No, not -5, -3.
Jimmy's not on his game today.
Well, it's in group 5, but it's not -5, it's -3. Remember, it goes +1, +2, +3, +, -4, -2, -2, -1, 0, and we skip that squish part. Do these, no, do these 2 numbers add to 0? +2 -3, do they add to 0? No. So they add to -1. So what do we do? What's the cheat way? How do we figure out how many of each we crisscross them?
See, I remember something.
They flip flop. Good, because this stuff doesn't go away. No. Don't be mean. I need to. See what? I gotta double check on Lon's attendance real quick. This short period's gonna bite me in the booty if I'm not careful. Oh yeah, and there's a lot more people online too. Lucas, Matthew, I think I already got slates. So who do I not have in here? Okay, now, before I go to the other ones, and those of you that have been remote, I don't know how much you were actually like paying attention to what I put online, if you were listening, or if you were just muting me and trying to write crap down. Is there a question where I got these positive and negative charges from? You sure about that? You understand where that +2 and that -3 came through?
Yes.
And you understand they flip-flop?
Yes.
All right, so then tell me, what's the charge of aluminum?
Aluminum is
Aluminum is Al. What is its charge?
+3.
Positive.
+3.
Okay, don't help him. Don't help him. Okay, so chlorine is Cl. What is its charge?
Come on, Jerry.
You can do it.
Let me find it first.
It's on the right-hand side.
It's under F.
I can do it, Mom. What's that?
Negative.
Negative how much?
1.
Do those add to 0?
No.
So when you flip-flop them, how many do you need of each?
Need
One
aluminum.
You need how many aluminums?
One.
And what? Stop it! And you need how many chlorines? 3.
How far did you know?
If I do not call on y'all, like specifically, I don't know. I'm afraid to let you guys play with fire on Friday.
No.
Okay, now to go, hold on. To go the other way, what is Be? What element? Beryllium. Okay, now this is sulfur. Okay, but it doesn't end in It's going to end in what? Ide. So what would you call that? Beryllium sulfide. If, for those of you who have been remote or if you've not been paying attention, these ides and eights, don't change those. Elements end in ide. These almost always end in ide or eight. You don't change their ending. Like I said, for those of you that have been remote, I'm not trying to pick on you, but for those of you that have been remote, I don't know how much you picked up. Na is what element? Sodium. Cl is chlorine, but it's going to change to chloride. Now, these are what we call binary, meaning two. Doesn't mean there's two atoms, it just means there's two elements. If they are binary, they end in I, period. If they are ternary, meaning three or more, which is one of these, they almost always end in iter 8. Okay, before I move on to ternaries and for the Roman numeral ones, are there questions about this? If you don't ask, I don't know. You're not coming to my house late at night.
How will we come to your house when we don't know where you live?
I don't want you to know where I live. That's weird.
You live down that road right there.
I live,
You telling us how?
I live that way.
I just put this down.
I had to orient myself. All right,
Something's supposed to be.
what?
Something's supposed to be. It's really
Old pencil?
It's like
Pencil.
like a really like wet pencil and it's like soaked in pencil. Like it feels like that. It smells weird.
Are you okay?
Probably not. It just smells weird.
Is that even right?
Oh.
What?
Whoa, never mind. That's not what I was doing.
Why you got there, buddy?
No, it was isopropyl alcohol that I set on
That's
fire.
like
You set that on fire?
Yes.
The
other day, yesterday.
She wouldn't let you sniff it if it was toxic.
I wouldn't let you, yeah, I wouldn't let you. All right, now, here's, for those of us who don't remember, never learned, or just whatever, that I means how many? 3. Okay, so what is the charge of iron? Positive 3. If I can get it to go. Oxygen is always negative how much? 2. Some of these you're gonna learn these whether you want to or not. We use oxygen all the time. They don't add to 0. So what's the formula?
Switch up.
Iron gets
2,
2 and oxygen gets
3.
3. Now, iron 3 oxide is rust. So that's rust. It's what it's called. Iron 2 oxide is different. What's the charge of iron 2? Plus 2. Oxygen is still negative 2. Do those numbers add to 0?
Yeah.
So what's the formula?
Happy.
FeO. Okay, so for those of you who have never got it the first time, or whatever, +1 -1, +2 -2, +3 -3, no subscript. They already added to 0. The whole point of these things making a compound is to be neutral. They don't want to charge. They want to be like chill. They want to be neutral. And in this case, they are neutral. Here comes the hard part. Figuring out what the Roman numeral is. You're not going to know the charge of the metal. So you start with the second thing's charge because you're going to know its charge. What is sulfur's charge? -2. Both of these are a tin compound. They're different types of tin, but we know sulfur's -2. How many sulfurs are on the one on the left?
One.
1. What is 1 times -2? So with this side, which I know online you can't see, because for those of you that have been remote, my smart board is stupid. If this side is -2, what does this side have to be to add it to 0? +2. So what is the Roman numeral for the one on the left, the 10? We just said it had to be +2. How did we do +2 in Roman? I. And I know Roman numerals are something that y'all just don't get taught anymore. But we use them in this class all the time. The one on the right's different. It's still tin. It's still tin sulfide. But how many sulfurs are over here now? What is 2 times -2? So if the sulfur side is -4, what does the tin side have to be to add it to 0?
+4.
Exactly, and how do we do 4? IV. For those of you that missed it, it is 1 before 5 is how Roman is read. I meaning 1, V meaning 5, X meaning 10. Use that one there. If it was VI, it would be 1 after 5, which would be 6. We normally don't go past 4 in Roman. I'm not going to say we never do, because we do sometimes.
There's a back.
What?
There's a back.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff that we're going over in a very short period of time. All right. Polyatomics, 8s and 9s. You were supposed to have memorized those. The difference between 8s and 9s, 8s have 1 more oxygen than their 8. 8 does not mean 3, does not mean 4, does not mean 2. It means more. It means 1 more. 8 means 1 less. Not all polyatomics have both. If they only have 1, it is an 8. And there are 3 of them that do not end in 8 or 8. That would be cyanide, hydroxide, and ammonium ion. Let's do the easy part. What's lithium's symbol? Li means positive how much? 1. Sulfate, which if you did not memorize these on here, is SO4, and it carries a -2 charge. You're not changing that 4. We're not ready to do that yet. It's like it's super glue. It is 1 sulfur that is attached. It is super glued with 4 oxygens, and the whole thing carries a -2 charge. So if they don't add to 0, crisscross them. How many lithiums do you need?
2.
2. How many sulfates do you need?
1.
So do you need parentheses?
No.
Nope. You only need parentheses around these guys, if you need more than 1. Iron is Fe. If it's iron 2 phosphate, what's the charge of the iron? Positive 2. Phosphates, if you have not memorized these, it's named for the phosphorus atom. It is attached to, in this case, 4 oxygens. And the whole thing carries a -3 charge. Let's cross them. How many irons do you need?
2.
How many? 3. How many phosphates do you need?
2.
Do you need parentheses?
No.
Yes. The parentheses are like a bubble
Whereas the other one did not need to.
because it only needed 1.
No, what?
The sulfate. It needed 1 sulfate. I needed 2 lithiums. I needed 1 sulfate. Needed 1 sulfate. You only need parentheses if you need more than 1. We did this before the break. I forgot everything. Where are we? What is this? It's Earth. And we're doing chemistry.
Oh, okay, because the lithium has 1, you crisscross it, so sulfate, lithium, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I know this is iron. I'm going to have to tell its charge. Nitrate. Now, if you did not memorize these, you'd have to look it up. Nitrate carries a -1 charge, but how many do I have? What is 3 times -1?
-2.
So with this side is -3. What does this side have to be? No, +3. And if you only have 1 iron, it has to carry the full positive charge. So that is iron 3 nitrate. You can try to reverse cross, but that doesn't always work because if things were reduced, that doesn't translate into reverse crossing. But doing it mathematically always works. On the right, silver. Does silver need a Roman numeral? No, because it's always +1. So this is silver. Now, this is not sulfate, that's sulfate. What is this? Sulfite.
No, I don't guess.
You guessed.
I did.
Oh, wait till we get to building skeleton equations. And wait till we get to acids. Acids are a whole ball of fun when it comes to nomenclature. This is easy compared to acids.
That's gonna be fun.
Like I said, I ate it, it's icky. That is, I will never, ever, ever get that out of my brain. That is how I learned it. I ate it, it's icky. Aches become itch acids. Ites become us acids.
No, it's not.
And ions become hydroic acids. You wait till we get to those. Those are fun. They teach you how to do a logarithm too.
Can you blow something up here, Spark?
And you get to set something sort of on fire on fire.
I wanna blow
Although
something.
technically, I'm supposed to be the one that does it and not you, because it's
No, you just trust us enough,
dangerous.
you know, that's good.
Trust you enough to set things on fire?
Probably not Jerry.
Don't worry, only.
Right. Covalence. These are the easy ones.
Oh, listen.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but ionics, whether they be binary or ternary, they're complicated. Covalents are straightforward. Covalents just use a prefix. There's no charges. There's no flip-flopping. There's no reducing. There's none of that. There's no Roman numerals. It is mono, di, tri, tetra. It is that. And these are the ones that you all like better. All covalents end in I. All of them. There are no ites or eights. There are I's. Why am I hearing noise coming from things? It's Jeremiah, put your phone away and focus. Now, the only catch with these is, does the first thing get a prefix or not?
No.
It depends. Depends how many. The second thing always gets a prefix and it ends in I. The first thing, it's not an I, it's just L. But does it need a prefix or not? I can't remember if I have another one on here or not. Okay, so your first element only gets a prefix if it has a subscript, which means there's more than one. If there's no subscript, there's no number. Subscript, little number. If there's no number, you just name it. But that second thing, I don't care if there's a subscript or not. You need to tell me how many. So you should already have this on your paper. I tried to give you as much of this as possible. If you have questions, you ask. What? What? I want to say it's 40, is it 50 or 45? 45. So one means mono. That's why monopoly is called monopoly. You want to be the one person left controlling everything. Dice, normally two, not bi in this class. Tricycle, 3 wheels. Tetras, 4 is tetra. Pentagon, 5, hexagon, 6. Hepta, not septa. Hepta is 7. Octopus, 8 arms, octagon. Nana is 9. Deca is 10. That's why a decade is called a decade. It is 10 years. Decathlon is 10 miles. So these are the easier ones. Di is how many? Nitrogen is what letter? Okay. Mono is how many? Oxygen is what letter? So it is element, prefix, element, prefix. These are much simpler to do. If phosphorus does not have a prefix, does it get a subscript? No. What is penta?
5.
So it is PCl5. Does sulfur get a prefix?
No.
How do you say 6? Hexachloride. Nitrogen doesn't get a prefix. How do you say 2? Guy.
Students, if you did not get a peak schedule this morning during homeroom, please go to the counselor's office to pick that up. You must have your peak schedule. If you did not get one, please.
You should have already gotten it the first period.
Thank you.
You should have a pink thing. Okay, so what I just went over, now this is the assignment. Who needs a paper version? They are in Canvas. Now, you already finished it. If you missed the assessment from before the break, it has been open. I know it's supposed to discourage the paper, but I know so many of you do better than paper. Well, if you cannot, in closure, who else need a paper? If you cannot go to formulas for words, I am sorry, but you are doomed. We need to figure out what the feedback is. Who else needs a paper version? They are on tangents. Okay, we are in 4th. Okay, so stop that. No, you leave out which one was first. I need to take.
My teacher lets us use translate.
It's gonna.
I just come up here in this.
On what? Yeah, that's extremely sharp. Why are you touching it? That's a geo cracker. Stop it.
Finger in there.
Stop it.
Why is that your name?
This whole thing is not gonna come off. This is not good. This is gonna be fun. Here, I'll just burn it off.
Where's my?
In a second.
There's one. Look at Valerie Winfrey.
Where are my matches? Matches. Well, you're in here for next class too, aren't you? Where are my matches? Up here. Now, you came from remote, but I don't remember seeing you a lot online. What happened? You don't know.
I normally, I usually just get this time, but now that I wasn't.
You just weren't doing it, or?
Oh, no, I was doing the work, I just never doing it.
No, it's this is my not 4th period is my much larger chemistry class. I only have 2. Oh, I really thought that was gonna pop it off in there. Woo! Gotta love the smell of burning ice-cream. Alright, let me switch over to the other class. And this is my long class for 5th period. We actually will get through, stop recording.